in one of the death camps in Auschwitz that what they used to do is they used to tell Yidden to go around after the Yidden had been gassed to death, to go and collect any of the possessions that they may have, and to go and pick up any jewelry or anything that may be left behind. And they went to the crematorium and also the places where they burnt the Yidden. And there were Yidden, unfortunately, had to have the job to go around, and if they had any gold teeth, anything that was worth money, they would bring back for the Germans, for the Nazis, Yimach Shemam. Terrible job, a horrible job for somebody to do that, to be able to do that, to pick up the remains. Gefährlich. There was one such Yid who, years ago, was actually in London, and he was saying over the story. It was once, I think it was Shalashitas, I don't remember exactly when he said the story, but he said over the Maisa that he was one of those Yidden. He had no choice, obviously, to do it. It wasn't something that he chose to do, but something that he had to do. And he said he noticed something very interesting. He noticed something that the way that they would burn the Yidden was that even the bones, everything was gone, everything was disintegrated, everything was burned up. There was nothing left. A few ashes. It was one letzlan. I mean, he would notice there was one bone that was always there. There was one bone that was intact. There was one bone that was just whole and wasn't touched, wasn't burnt, wasn't disintegrated, wasn't an ash. And he kept on seeing it again and again and again. And it hit him, it sort of hit him like, Chazal tell us, and we'll see some of the Lashon of some of the Rishonim already, Gdolei Achronim for sure, that there are certain things that we do that strengthens various parts of our body. Chinuch talks about it also sometimes as well. But I'll upon him one thing which is very, very interesting is the Shibolei Alekat brings Simon Kuf Lamed, that there's a bone, they call it in English the luz bone, and this bone is the back of a person's neck at the top of the spine, that's nana from one eating, that has benefit from only one eating that you do the entire week, and that is the Suda called Melava Malka. That when a person eats Melava Malka, he is benefiting that specific bone. No other food that you eat the entire week will benefit it, only the food of Melava Malka. And therefore, that is the bone that is brought down, is going to stay intact, will remain forever until Tchias HaMeisim. And that will be the beginning and the sprouting of a person coming back to Tchias HaMeisim. So as they bring it down, the Prisha brings it as well, the Ola Shabbos, Tosfos Shabbos, it's a Medrash Rabbah and Bereshis as well, Matei Moshe as well, that we have to realize that Emunah in Tchias HaMeisim is such an interesting thing. Because of course we know that Tchias HaMeisim isn't mentioned mufurish in the Torah. There's many Ramazim, but it's not mufurish in the Torah. But al Kaponim, we know that the eating at the end of 7 days, after a whole week, after a Shabbos Kodesh, that eating gives hana, gives benefit to that bone. It shows us something as well, that whatever we do in this world, we will get the full benefit, the full hana in the next world, in Olam Haba, when everything that we do comes to light. So I want to speak a few moments about this Gavaldige Inyan. We spoke yesterday about Shalashidas, but there's another Suda as well. And I want to mention you a Gemara. There's a Gemara in Shabbos, Daf Kuf Yoter Samar Beis. The Gemara says like this: La'olam, la'olam. Very interesting lashon of Gemara. La'olam. Yesada Adam Shulchanoi b'Motzei Shabbos. There's an Inyan, by the way, to set the table. We'll talk about it. Even if you're not eating that much, could be just the setting of the table is chal the whole zach of Melava Malka. La'olam Yesada Adam Shulchanoi b'Motzei Shabbos. Afal pi she'ein tzorich ela kazayis. Says the Gemara, Mefurish Gemara, Paskin Shulchan Aruch Arachaim Semen Shin, that even if you're only eating a kazayis, or to masada the shulchan, to set up the table, that's what a person should be doing. Says the Gemara, listen to this Maisa. Okay, we're going to art scroll the Maisa. The Gemara brings a Maisa between Rav and Rav Avo, that they made a whole cow. They shechted a cow on Motzei Shabbos to be able to eat Melava Malka. But the problem is they didn't eat the cow from Melava Malka. They ate one thing. They ate kol yosef, they ate the kidney. They shechted the whole cow just to eat the kidney of the cow. The son says to him, I don't understand, Tati, what's going on over here? What do you do? You're wasting so much food. You're shechting a whole cow to eat the kidney of a cow? That doesn't make any sense. That's what he asked his father. Gemara tells us the Maisa. So he said, I don't understand. Tati, just take the shechita that you did on Erev Shabbos. Erev Shabbos also shech the cow for Shabbos Kodesh. Just take the kidney from Erev Shabbos and use it for Motzei Shabbos. Why are you shechting specially for Motzei Shabbos in order just to use the kidney when you could have used the kidney from Erev Shabbos? Okay? It's the kasha that he asked. The next Shabbos, next Motzei Shabbos, his father said, okay, he's right, it's a good taina. There's no wasting. So he decided not to shecht, and he used the kidney from Erev. The Gemara said that a lion came along and shred the whole thing to pieces. Obviously showing in Shemayim that was not the correct thing to do. So the Rishonim ask, I don't understand. That was the punishment? What did he do wrong? Like because he didn't shech the cow specifically for Melava Malka, azah oynesh, azah punishment. Mamash, it was a good taina. It was a waste of food. So the answer, at least the Ran answers, Pshat in the Gemara, it was a chason in Emunah. It was a chason in Emunah. So this is Pashtus, the machlokas between Rav Avo and his son. The fourth Suda that we have, Melava Malka, is it included in Shabbos Kodesh that we know whatever we spend on Shabbos Kodesh we get back, and therefore what do you care? Shech the whole cow. You're going to get the money back anyway, okay? And that's obviously what Rav Avo was holding, that it's included in Kavod Shabbos, the Melech can shech the whole cow. Even though it's expensive, Hotzah Shabbos, I get it back. His son held no. It's not included. It's a Stam Suda during the week. Right? Now, it's interesting because we do find Lashon Rashi. Rashi learns in Shabbos Kufya Tesama base that Melava Malka is actually Kavod Shabbos. It's Kavod Shabbos to accompany the Shabbos. Just like somebody goes out, you Melava them, you walk them, you escort them. So too in Shabbos Kodesh, the Shabbos Malka leaves. We escort Shabbos with the Suda. However, the Orchos Chaim brings as well, he brings Rabbeinu Peretz, that the minig is not even to do melacha on Motzei Shabbos. Right? Why? What's pshat? Why is the minig is not to do melacha? See, he brings over here that the Ra'ah says that the person should be mitzvah. Shabbos is not here anymore. Shabbos is not here. I need chizuk. I need koyach for such a thing. And therefore there's an inyan, a mitzvah, to have a suda, dafka on Motzei Shabbos, to show that I poshet need the koyach. I need something to give me the koyach to be able to continue because of the tzar that Shabbos left. In the Lekutei of the Chassam Sofer, again on Shabbos over there in Kuf Yotes, he brings down it's like Besomim. Why do we smell Besomim by Avdallah on Motzei Shabbos? It's because our Neshama Yisrael just left. We need something to replace the Neshama Yisrael. The Neshama Yisrael is left. What do we do? So we smell Besomim. So the Heilige Chassam Sofer is the Zel Bezach with Melava Malka. We're sitting down to have Melava Malka in this case. Others bring down that every bracha requires a kli. In other words, every bracha requires something to be chal on. It has to rest on something. There's nothing for the bracha of Shabbos that it's just been. We've got Shabbos Kodesh. The bracha of Shabbos is within us. How do we keep it within us? Melava Malka. Because when we eat Melava Malka, the bracha of Shabbos has something to be chal on. In fact, when Moshe Sternberg brings down in Shuvas Van Hogas, he said it's like a Suda Seidah. We're thanking the Rabbeinu Shalom for being with us for 24 hours. We spent time with the Rabbeinu Shalom. The Rabbeinu Shalom accompanied us for 24 hours. We spent time with Hashem. It's an amazing, amazing thing. And that is what's going on when it comes to the Suda of Melava Malka. So even though sometimes we have to understand, of course, the halachas, right? Tomorrow we're going to understand the halachas of exactly what's included in Melava Malka, when do you have to eat it, what do you yaitz Melava Malka, there's a lot of halachas. But before we even touch the halachas, to understand what is going on, the kedusha of Shabbos is so high that when Shabbos leaves us, I know personally people, I don't know if any of you experienced the same thing, could be that you do, or maybe you realized that you didn't chap, right? Milsa the love, the Rama de Inish, lava daita, the Gemara says in Chonan, and therefore if you didn't chap it, maybe you didn't realize. But I've heard this many times from people, that Motzei Shabbos, they feel empty, they have a bad feeling. They push it, it's not geschmack. It's like a bad, I don't know what it is, people can't explain it. Right? I don't know if anybody experienced that, but I've heard this from many people. I can't do the regular things I normally do. It's kind of, it's not the same thing. Melava, like Motzei Shabbos. They feel emptiness. When a person's mezak himself with Melava Malka, when a person sits down and he has a Suda, which again we have to explain exactly what the definition of Melava Malka is. But that's the idea. Just to end with one last thing. Reb Chaim Vital brings down the Maisa that he went with his Rebbe, the Heilige Rebbe, the Heilige Arizal, and he went on a boat, and he went on the Yam HaMelech, and it was on Motzei Shabbos. They went to the place that the Be'er Miriam was meant to be, and the Arizal took a cup of water, and he gave it to Reb Chaim Vital, and after that, Reb Chaim Vital said he never forgot any of his learning. Pasha, everything he learned stayed in. He never forgot any of his learning. Okay, we're going to take a trip there, Mitzvah Hashem, as well. Hopefully one day we'll be able to do the same thing. So the Indian Zug Rizal is to drink water from a well on Motzei Shabbos, and it does lav dafka the Be'eshel Miriam, but any water from any well in the world that you drink from has the same effect. The Kaf HaChaim brings down Lapil Mukubolim, that it heals from any illnesses that a person has. Now, what's the pshat? The Kaf HaChaim again goes to the Mukubolim just to say it's an easy idea, the realization that when Shabbos goes out, we don't just go back to the weekday. We don't just get changed and say, Shabbos is gone, let's get changed, let's go back to the week, let's go back to what we need to do. No. We want to save Shabbos with us. We want to keep Shabbos with us. The water is something that spreads around the world. Okay, whatever, it's a deep inyan that we're not going to go into. But the idea is one thing, that we're keeping Shabbos with us. And therefore that's what Melava Malka is, which we'll discuss tomorrow, the exact parameters of how to keep Melava Malka, how to do Melava Malka. But before that, to know the chashivas of keeping Shabbos with us, to be Melava the Malka with us the whole week. We give us koyach for the whole week, like the Rocham HaKodesh says. Shabbos gives koyachas for the Gantzevach, for the week to come as well. If we take that seriously and we invest time not only in Shabbos, but also in Motzei Shabbos, then a whole week is a different week. Tomorrow, Be'ez Hashem, we'll go to the halachos of Melava Malka.